it is high time somebody told these people that we are through with hate, through with war, through with destruction. It will not work anymore.
President Bill Clinton, a man who's tried to direct Northern Ireland along the road to peace, today walked this province's most bloodied street. With him, the Prime Minister, who explained how 3 weeks ago 28 people were tricked into the Omagh death trap. There are no votes for either of them here. What was on display was the common humanity of two world leaders. They came to provide sympathy and support. For the President of the United States, it was the most poignant moment in an extraordinary day. His first contact with the Northern Ireland public was earlier in Belfast, and after the uncertainty of Moscow, the warmth of the welcome here was unambiguous. The President looked tired, but this was perhaps a brief respite for a leader under real pressure. In Belfast's Waterfront Hall, an audience of more than 2,000 stood and applauded. Mr. Clinton brought with him the message that peace must be made to last.
And to the people of Northern Ireland, I say, it is your will for peace, after all, that has brought your country to this moment of hope. Do not let it slip away. It will not come again in our lifetimes.
There were tributes to many peacemakers today, people like Senator George Mitchell and the Secretary of State Mo Mowlam. She was given a standing ovation when she took her seat in the auditorium. Local political leaders thanked Mr. Clinton.
President, you have shown a solidarity that spans the longest day and the darkest night. We firmly believe that a bright tomorrow dawns for all of us.
The President shook hands with leading politicians, including Gerry Adams, whom he later praised for his statement of 2 days ago that violence must now be a thing of the past.
Those words were music to ears all across the world, and they paved the way for the progress still to come. Thank you, sir.
When the President flew in this morning, it was for an unprecedented second time. Unlike any of his predecessors, Mr. Clinton has been closely involved in the pursuit of peace. He'd returned to Northern Ireland to cajole and encourage once more. This is, of course, a high-profile visit. The presidential entourage, the cavalcade travelling around Northern Ireland is huge. But the trip is intended to be more subdued than the euphoric visit of 3 years ago. More reflective, perhaps, given recent events in Northern Ireland, in particular, the massacre in Omagh. His first engagement was at Stormont, home of the province's new power-sharing assembly. Accompanied by Mr. Blair, the President met David Trimble and Mr. Mallon, the Unionist and Nationalist politicians chosen to head up the fledgling administration.
So where are we, guys?
In private, the President was told that there's now a new mood after the Omagh massacre and that the peace process is moving in the right direction.
The President of the United States, Mr. William Jefferson Clinton, and the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Tony Blair.
The two leaders were warmly received by the 108 members of the Assembly, Nationalists and Republicans, Unionists and Loyalists. The President has followed a hectic schedule. He scrapped a lunch appointment to fulfil his other commitments, the last of which was a visit to the city of Armagh, Ireland's ecclesiastical capital. When he spoke this evening, it was clear he'd been moved by what he'd seen and heard throughout the day.
Out of the unimaginably horrible agony of Omagh, the people said, it is high time somebody told these people that we are through with hate, through with war, through with destruction. It will not work anymore.
It's clear that Bill Clinton believes he has an affinity with people here, and they have responded to his presence. Beleaguered at home, America's president must have felt that in Northern Ireland, he was amongst friends. John Irvine, News at 10, Belfast.